First up, everyone's favourite zap shotty, the Blitzer, and this thing needs no introduction, folks. Just like it does against bugs, it offers insanely strong crowd control and trivialises chaff with ease. The combination of its very pleasing rate of fire and its ability to fire into a very wide frontal cone makes it exceptional at dealing with voidless. If you make sure you don't ADS when firing the Blitzer, this is also compounded even further. What's even more insanely cool about the Blitzer is the fact that it can stun lock overseers indefinitely, which makes this, again, an absolutely fantastic choice of weapon against the squids. In terms of Doritos, that's the flying enemies. In my mind, that's what they look like. It's the same story. It absolutely splatters them. The Blitzer rewards a swashbuckling and aggressive playstyle that requires you to, much like against Terminids, hang out in close proximity to danger zones to keep the tide at bay, and your team will thank you for this tenfold for taking on this role and controlling the battlefield. Its shortcomings are that it sucks against anything with a force field shield, so don't even think about trying to take on the walkers, aka the Protoss Colossus from StarCraft 2, as you won't get very far, folks. This means we need to be very calculated in our choices for support weapons that we pair it with, and with that in mind, I will be following this video up with a support weapon focus breakdown for Illuminate, so please do drop the video a like and sub to the channel to keep informed. I'm often streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so be sure to come by and say hi. Next up, the Sickle. This is absolutely cracked against Illuminates. The nature of this weapon is that its fire rate means that we literally mow down droves of the squid scum with ease. Everything about this weapon feels great. The way it handles and aims is amazing, and this makes it feel really effective when we need to make our shots count against enemy weak spots, and this is further compounded by the fact its ammo economy is absolutely exceptional. Well, you could even call it infinite, if you ask me, because if you handle it right, you can pretty much never need to reload. Back in the day, I used to use this and the AMR against bots and treat the AMR like an extension to the Sickle magazine by switching off the Sickle to the AMR just before it overheated, mag dumping the AMR into the heavy enemies, and then switching back quickly to finish off any trash mobs. And by the time you've switched back, the Sickle has cooled down. So you can effectively keep this on repeat, and it's super effective at managing both heavy threats and small threats with ease. So make sure you're trying this method out, folks. It really does take it up to the next level. You can also use this technique with secondary weapons too, and my early observations against Illuminate is that more bullets equals better outcomes, and the Sickle really feeds into that hypothesis. It's reasonably effective at taking out shields on walkers and spaceships, and it makes an excellent opener when you're trying to take out these suckers. I actually think this could be my favourite weapon against Illuminate so far, and could well bypass the Blitzer in that regard, which is really surprising because if you know me, folks, I'm a massive Blitzer advocate. Now, another thing I am a massive advocate for is our channel sponsor, Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming will be pulling out all the stops over the festive period, giving you insane discounts on all your favourite titles. Instant Gaming will be offering you new, exciting deals every single day. This is a great opportunity to purchase blockbuster games from this year past, such as Black Myth Wukong or Space Marine 2, or maybe even Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Or perhaps snap yourself up a superb deal on a highly anticipated title coming up early next year, such as Monster Hunter Wilds or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at insanely discounted prices. Instant Gaming is 100% legit because they acquire all their keys directly from the source, providing you authenticity without compromise, and this is reflected in their 4.7 Trustpilot score from over 720,000 reviews. Instant Gaming is not just another key marketplace, folks. Everything comes from authorized sellers. So, if you want to save some money on video games and support me and the Phase Shift community, click on the link in the description or the pinned comment below and enjoy those juicy Instant Gaming discounts. Now, back to the video. Coming in next, we have the Plasma Punisher, often a bit of a love-hate weapon choice. Personally, though, I love this thing against bots, and it's exactly the same case. As long as you have the projectile trajectory locked down and your aiming technique is razor sharp, you can do absolutely insane work with this thing, folks, and it obliterates hordes due to the way that they move as a clump together, and the weapon's AoE explosion just makes this complement it so well. much like against the bots, it also staggers the squids indefinitely, and you can get them on loop with this, and it's a really, really attractive choice, particularly because its rate of fire just keeps things staggering around like they've had 10 pints. So it feels incredibly satisfying, and if you haven't already used this, have a go and practice and try and get your shots off against the jetpack enemies and the flying Doritos. This is A, great way to practice your aim, but B, this is where it really takes it up a level. If you can get pinpoint accurate with this thing, you will love it, I promise you. Again, it isn't that great against shields, but that just means you need to pair it with something that is, and its main strength though lies in the lobbing of plasma balls from afar and disintegrating and staggering everything with ease. Speaking of disintegrating, oh my word, the Scorcher is once again in the thick of it in terms of my favorite choices, and that is especially now against the Illuminate. Its intense rate of fire and damage output makes it exceptionally good against all units in the Illuminate arsenal, and if you pair this thing with something rapid like a machine gun, you are going to be laughing. The only problem I would say is this weapon faces pretty bleak ammo economy, so you will need to make sure that you are bringing this along with a supply pack. But that's fine, because it just means we just lean into the more bullets equal better style of play. Another favorite of mine is the crossbow, and this is also devastating against Illuminates. Much like the Plasma Punisher, the radius of the explosion on this thing is extremely big, and you can AoE clear trash mobs very easily, and it also completely cooks Overseers, Jetpackers and Doritos in a few well-placed shots. And what's even more attractive about this weapon is that it can punch through shields and even take out the walkers if you can land your shots on the leg joint. The fact that this is a primary weapon, it's one-handed, it's strong at horde clear, and it can kill heavies, and it can even wreck walkers. This is without a doubt, in my opinion, one of, if not the highest performing weapon against the Illuminate currently in the game. Now, I think it goes without saying that the addition of the Illuminate into the game has, without a shadow of a doubt, made this game so much better, so much more fun. It really needed some fresh content like this, and I've been so impressed with the way the game is now playing, and I'd go as far as saying I think the Illuminate are actually probably my favorite faction. And what's been great about this is old weapons are still effective, but we've also got some new weapons as well that I perhaps wasn't using so much, and it's just given us a lot more food for thought when we're picking our weapons in that regard. What I have been quite surprised with is how most of the anti-tank options don't feel that great, and upon reflection, that's okay. We've got our choices against different factions to use those. Things like the railgun now just feel absolutely redundant in terms of Illuminate, unless I'm doing something wrong. But I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are, folks. I am going to break down the support weapons, but until then, sound off in the comments. What are your favorite primary weapons, and maybe your support weapon combos that go alongside them? Check out this next video. It's got you covered. Take care of yourselves. Keep having fun. Come check out a stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.